Good evening. All right, let's give folks some time to get on here. So this week we're continuing our series on celebrating our women or championing our women. So we are, oh, there she is. So we are going to be joined by one of our clients. So I'm going to invite her on. Hey, Alita. So, of course, Alita is on the other side watching us and there to answer your questions if you have any. So feel free to drop them in the chat box. Selena, hi.
Hey,
How are you?
good.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. I was just giving a quick little overview, but I will, since I have you here, we are continuing our championing of our women, and we wanted to have a conversation with you tonight as one of our highly successful clients. So wanted to talk to you a little bit about your journey and where you are now, and kind of just talk a little bit about how you've interacted with Meta Lifestyle Collective and Alita and myself. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
yes, yes. How are you today?
Doing good. Doing good. It's been a
Good.
busy day here.
Busy day. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to join us. I know that, I think that was what we put on the flyer when we're talking about you, like, mom, busy career woman, wife. I mean, what else should we add to that list?
Yeah, wife, just all of the above, I guess.
All the above. And with that, though, you have not only continued to thrive with your family and work and yourself, but you have seen some great successes with your physical, mental, over what has it been? Have we got to the 90 days yet?
I believe so. In November. I started in November, so yeah, we're pretty much there. Yes, yes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So so essentially the program that Alita and I put together is 90 days, and it really is a jump start for you,
Mhm.
to get you on the path, as far as your health and wellness. And so let's talk about, where you are. I guess first start, what brought you to wanting to work with us, or what was the thing that said, okay, I need to make some changes?
Yeah. Well, I think so. I think prior to COVID, I was pretty active, and I actually had lost, a lot of weight. But then when COVID hit, kind of lost that motivation. I was trying to do it on my own. It got a little bit more difficult, because I didn't have that sense of accountability, that community to kind of help me, in the process. And so after a while of trying to do it on my own, I felt like I needed to get some help. And when this opportunity arrived, I jumped on it because I was like, well, I need to do what I can to get where I need to be at, not just for my physical health, but also for my mental health. And I feel
Yes.
if I don't have that in place, then I'm no help for my family and for all the other endeavors that I'm trying to do, in my life. So I just
Yes.
point that I'm gonna just jump in and just do it.
Awesome. And I love what you just said. I feel like that needs to be said for people over and over again. Like, if you are not thriving yourself, you just can't deliver for other people in your life, right? So if you
Yeah.
put that time into yourself, where sometimes people think, oh my gosh, I can't do that, it's so selfish, right? Like,
Mhm.
you have to, and then you can feed and pour into others. So kudos to you.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yes. So obviously I know, but just for the folks that are watching us, to talk a little bit about, what you experienced in the program over the 90 days, and maybe some of the challenges you've experienced, some of your successes. Definitely want to talk about that. So yeah, just give us a little rundown of that.
Sure. So with my experience, well, one thing that I enjoy is, again, that sense of community, having other people that are like-minded, that have similar goals to be healthy, to be able to get tips from one another, also discuss challenges. That's definitely, I feel like, a key piece of me being able to be motivated to, do more. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I really enjoyed that aspect of it. Also the part of, Lita being able to give us those tips. Um, and also with tips, not just with exercising, but with the food, because that is so key. And I feel like having those tips and hearing from others, that also led me to be minded,
Mm-hmm.
um, healthier options, so substitutions, different things that I may have eaten in the past that I didn't realize also, like how, like the nutrients values that were lacking in there, that weren't really giving me that added value that I needed, for, my goals. So just having that more awareness to that, that you guys kind of showed us that, I think that was helpful. Um, and then as far as um, the setting the goals, I think that's really important, and also realistic goals, because somebody, like I know in the past I've probably like been like, oh, I want to lose this much weight, this at the end of this week, and necessarily looking at just the weight, but also looking at the measurements, looking at how my body feels, as well as celebrating the successes. I think that's important too, because if you don't celebrate the successes, the small successes, then it's not going to keep you motivated. So I feel like
Absolutely.
the group has helped us, because we all kind of celebrate each other's successes and talk about it. So I feel like that's been a great experience throughout this whole process.
Good. Good, good, good. Yeah, I actually, Alita will probably, she'll laugh.
Yeah.
Today I had to remind her of just that, to
Yeah.
celebrate the small successes, right? Because we have goals, even just for ourselves, overall, business, everything. And sometimes when you don't feel like you've hit that big goal, you
Mhm.
really do have to say, let me take a look at what I've done. What have I accomplished, that we can say, oh, this is that small thing that I've accomplished. Like, what is that? And then we need to clap it up for ourselves. And of course, when we are in our group, we obviously want to encourage you in that same way. So I love that you said that. And I, just want to remind everyone that that's really, really important, because that just thinking about those small goals or the little things that you've met allows you to keep pushing, right? So that you do finally get to that, whatever, that larger goal might be. So I definitely love that. Um, you mentioned being open-minded to some things. Can you talk about some of the foods you've tried, and what your experience has been? Because I think sometimes people think, like, I don't know what they think we're going to tell you to eat, but like,
Mhm.
that's not happening. So I just want to talk about some of the things that you tried that you've enjoyed that maybe you wouldn't have considered before.
Yeah, absolutely. Because that is the food part is very key. So one of the things that I'm a coffee person. I have to have coffee. Okay, it might be 1 cup, 2 cups, depending on the day, it might be three.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that I swapped out was, I was always using the regular creamer,
Mm-hmm.
very sugary, high calorie. I switched that out with the almond milk creamer, and that has been my go-to, like with everything. And it's been, and I can still enjoy the what I normally drink, the coffee, but have a healthy
Mm-hmm.
alternative. Other things that I've swapped out or I've started implementing. So Brussels sprouts. I didn't grow up eating Brussels sprouts, but that's something that I saw in the group that a lot of people were putting in their meals. So I said, all right, let me try it out and see how this works. And it was great. I love that. And that's a staple. And I even have gotten my family on board with the Brussels sprouts too.
Good.
Um, and then just recently, I did buffalo cauliflower, which that was a recipe I saw. I kept seeing that, and I wanted to try that out, and it was good. And so just little things here and there that I've tried to put in. Like try to look up different recipes and just be open minded and try different things that would be of value to my health. So yeah, that those are some of the things. And I think that another thing is that I feel like you guys do really good at kind of helping us understand about this process. It's not depriving ourselves of foods, because I mean, we still have to live, like we still live, we have family, we have different things like that going on. So there's going to be times when you're going to eat a piece of cake or a cookie or something like that, but just not overindulging. Or there are other alternatives that you can eat that are sweet, that will satisfy, that need or that craving. So I feel like that's important too. And that kind of goes back to like just being realistic in this process. So
Yeah, definitely. So you said something that, of course, comes up all the time for us is getting the family on board.
yes.
And I just want you to talk about that a bit because, again, I know we talk about it all the time, and I just want people to hear, as a wife and mother, how have you brought the family along, or what has been, the result of, your family and what they eat and how you work that.
Yeah. And it could be a challenge, especially, I have a 3-year-old and I have an 8-year-old, and they can be kind of at times. So I try to maybe just insert some things. Like for instance, if I'm making spaghetti, I might use like wheat noodles, or I told you guys already about the Brussels sprouts. Like that was something that I introduced, and my daughter seemed to like it. Other times, if my family, they're not gonna like everything that I am making, and I'm not gonna force them, but I may make, something that they like, and then I'll just make a substitution for myself that at least I can still eat some of the things. Like it might be the same meat, but I might be eating a different side, or
Mm-hmm.
they're eating mashed potatoes and I don't want to eat mashed potatoes. I'm going to eat like brown rice. So it's just little things here and there that I implement. One thing is breakfast. I should have mentioned this. So I like to make, you know, egg whites in a wrap with avocado. And so that's something I was making for myself. And I said, let me just try and see if my husband will eat this. And actually, he enjoys it. So when I do make it, like now I make it for him
Mm-hmm.
as well as like sweet potato hash. I didn't know anything about that. I just said, let me just try and see how this works out. And he likes that as well. So just little things here and there. It's not going to happen overnight, but at least if they're trying and they see me eating or trying to eat these healthy foods, then it at least will get in their mind. They'll be a little bit more intentional about it. That's my hope with it.
Yeah, I love that. I definitely love that. And I love that your husband is, like enjoying some of the things that you're having, because at the end of the day, like, I mean, generally you're not eating anything that's like, oh, this is terrible. You're not eating cardboard or whatever. Like, so it's usually good, nutritious food, but sometimes you do have to like slowly bring things in so others can say, oh, this isn't bad. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
So we know your successes. Obviously, we talked about being able to integrate some of these practices with the family, as
Mm-hmm.
well as just overall for you, what other, I guess, results have you seen? I know, obviously, we talked about the you, Alina, and I separately, but just talk up a little bit about your, anything that you can say have been your milestones that you've met over this time.
So, well, definitely, I have lost, weight, and that has been good. And I feel like a success for me has been not focusing so much on the weight, but also on how I feel and how
Mm-hmm.
the strength in my body. So I feel like I've been stronger. Some things that I have implemented, like one of my goals has been to do more core exercises.
I was going to ask you about that, so good thing you brought it up.
No doubt. But so I have been able to. I went from I will say like that would have been like the one of the least types of exercise I would do. I do everything else, run, walk, whatever. But I've been able to, add that into my exercise regimen. And now I do it normally around like 3 to 4 times a week, which has been a big improvement from what I was doing before, which is
Mm-hmm.
maybe like 1 or 2 times, if that. And then of course, I would say, losing the inches, that's, been great. Being able to see the numbers, change. But I honestly, I feel like, just feeling better about, myself, and feeling like, I am, going in the right direction, with my health, and just and again, not just physically but also mentally. And I
Mm-hmm.
how much the exercising and being healthy, it really de-stresses me, and it helps me just in other areas. So I just feel like that's just been great, in some of my successes so far with this.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I want to say again, Alita and I are so proud of you and what you've done, over this 90-day period. And one of the things the major things that I think that's the biggest reason why you've had so much success is because you are open to being coachable, and you take our suggestions and you implement them. And you also not only take what we suggest, but you also do some additional research and find other things that would align with the suggestions that we've made, and you start to implement those into your life. And that's really what we want to do, right? Like, we don't want you to need to be tied to the hip with us, right? Because for the most part, when you're working with a coach or a health coach, we're not with you the majority of the time, right? Like, you are off on your own. We come together to do our pulse checks on a monthly basis. We obviously have our community where we can talk every day, but we're not with you, right? Like, we're not physically with you. So the potential for you to do anything is there, right? But
Right.
you definitely have taken, the plan and run with it, and really listened. And again, just pushing yourself to the point where you can use this for yourself, for the rest of your life. So that is amazing. That is amazing. Um, Anything else that you want to say, add? I mean, I just wanted to obviously, have the conversation to talk about your successes and share it with everyone, because, I think the hard work you're putting in, and it's definitely showing off. And, we're super happy.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I mean, this has been it's a great journey. And I feel like, another part too is just, I feel like knowing about realistic goals and setting them helps with the sustainability of this whole health journey, because it is a health journey.
It
And,
is.
you know, um, being consistent, and also not being so hard on yourself. I think that's another thing that I've learned is, like, if for whatever reason, like, I ate, something that just maybe wasn't part of, didn't have a lot of nutritional value to it, I'm not going to be so hard on myself of like, oh gosh, I I'm not going to continue exercising. No, I know that I'm going to work harder.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, but I'm going to work harder and still continue on that journey. And I think that's just what it's about. And it's not a fad. It is a journey, and it's something that you should try to sustain. And I think too, another piece of it that I think about a lot is just pandemic. It also puts things in perspective about your health. Because, and I know I've said this in my 30-day goals, my health wealth, but I really am seeing that in fruition, especially with just what's going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to be able to, showcase that for my family. I want to be around. I want to, for a long time, I want to feel good. So I just think, anyone that's, thinking about, going on a health journey, they just need to just jump into it, because the time is now. The time is now to just, really take away the excuses and just jump on board with it.
The time is now, and jump in. And that's, the excuses. I mean, obviously you can come up with a limitless number of excuses, and
Yeah.
you cut through them, jumped in, and got it done. So that is fantastic. Fantastic. I'm just going to check and see if anybody in the chat has questions. Oh, I think you got a fan club on here. There are folks saying hi to you. I don't know if you're looking at the chat, but you got folks saying hi. Let's see. I'm just reading. I'm like I'm doing this, like, auntie thing where I'm trying to read. But yeah, most folks are saying yes, like, you can't pour from a cup, what we're talking about. I'm seeing some other clients on saying hi. Oh wait. Oh, what was the most significant food swap you made?
Um, I would say probably with the almond milk, definitely. The almond milk creamer, and also the protein shakes, because I mean that's something that has been a challenge that I've been working on, is just making sure that I have more protein, because
Mm-hmm.
my other challenges or my motivation is to lose fat, not the butt. So
Well,
I
I was about to say that's in the comments. Alita said it. Like, we gotta maintain the booty.
yeah.
Can't lose the booty.
Right. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm losing, getting to the goals, but also, keeping my figure. I want to make sure that, and the protein is something that I feel like I've started being more intentional about adding in there every day. Yes.
Awesome. So, what are the goals for the next 30 days?
Um, so I mean, some of them are still the same as my last 30 days.
Which is it. That's good.
It's the same. So, one of them was to make sure that I incorporate at least one new healthy meal in my, weekly, eating. And I've been doing that. I've been looking up recipes and things like that. So I try to do that at least once a week. The other goal has been to continue doing the core exercises, implementing that along with my my cardio and my strength training, because that's another piece that I'm trying to make sure I attack. So at least 4 to 5 times a week. And then my other goal is, and this is just more so for fun, things that I like to do because I do enjoy running. I try to participate in at least 1 to 2 virtual runs a month, and I've been doing that pretty often. So so those are my goals, right? To sustain and just keep going at it.
Yes, I love that. And that's definitely, we were talking with another client earlier, and basically the goals are the same, right? Like, we're not switching it up. We're not, because when you start doing that, right, that knee jerk, you
Yeah,
can't make any headway on the one thing you're working on because you're trying to go over here and do something else. So
yeah.
stick with it, even if it's that one thing, stick
Hmm.
with that. So I love that. You obviously are, blowing it up with your goals. So keep doing that. I obviously will keep checking, only because you said it. about the core. I will continue, and because I know it's that one thing you're just like, I don't really want to do it. So of course I am going to check in to see how you're doing. But folks are on. They say they love your attitude. I definitely love your attitude. You know, obviously, you know, we work very closely together, right? So it's nice to be able to work with you, and you bring sunshine and joy and all that kind of good stuff. And, you know, that obviously shows here and in our group community. So I'm super, super happy to have spoken with you. I don't know if anyone else has questions for Zelina. Alita says she loves you. Um, so yeah, so if anybody has more questions, you know, obviously we want to encourage as many people as possible to set their goals, at least start something, right? Because again, we all want to be here forever, you know, not forever, but you know, we want to live long, healthy lives. And so we need to start thinking about what we're doing to ourselves on a daily basis. And that small change might just be sitting down for, you know, putting a meditation in the morning, or, you know, having water, like something of that sort. But we definitely, you know, you can start small. I don't know if you're seeing the chat, but the folks are giving you all the love, all the love. So if anybody's watching this on the replay, feel free to ask any questions. If I can always, you know, chat with Zelina about additional questions that you guys may have. But I'm gonna wrap it up because I know you got a whole crew. Have you guys had dinner?
Yes, yes.
Awesome.
I
Awesome.
have. Oh, yeah.
Okay, very good. Very good. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. I will see you in the community chat. And we're just going to keep on going and keep on seeing those, you know, just checking it off and reaching those goals. So kudos to you. Thank you everyone for joining, and we'll see you guys next week. We're going to continue this championing of I don't know why. Is it hard to say? Is it just me? Championing, I don't know what I'm saying. Sorry, I'm a crazy person. We're going to champion our women over the next several weeks. So join us for that. And, you know, I think we're just going to have some really good conversations about, you know, some clients who've had successes, and as well as others who, you know, we just want to celebrate women as we go through the month of March. So thank you all for joining. Have a great night, Zelina. I will see you. I thank you so much. This was awesome. Bye.